All right, this is a super random video. I partly had the thought today, that's why I'm doing it, and and it's partly Christmas Eve, and I'm spending a good amount of time from work, and it allows me to think about other things. And I wanted to let you guys know about why I feel great about being a progressive and how it has liberated me. And Now, look, I was a conservative too, and um, and so I know actually, and in some ways, in some parts of me are still conservative. I believe in trying to balance the budget. That's a good thing. Okay, now both sides are starting to run away from that pretty furiously. I'm conservative judicially, and look, parts of my brain are built in a conservative way. What I mean by that is not the fear part, and not being afraid of change, but holding on to things that I care about, that I love, tradition in some ways, and nostalgia. I'm a hugely nostalgic guy, and so I was a Republican, and I used to be more right wing, as a lot of you know, and so I know the difference. And I used to be a little bit more religious for a brief period of time too, and so one giant difference is you feel free as a progressive. There isn't all this old baggage holding you down. There isn't this constant judgment. I don't know if you remember the beginning of Old School, the movie where Vince Vaughn's character is talking as he's a best man at the wedding, going, "Look at them, they're all judging, constantly looking, judging," right? And when you're religious, that's kind of how God is in your head, always looking, judging. So is society, so is authority figures. In the conservative mind, authority is by definition moral, and that's just not rational. And so authority sometimes is great and important, like when you teach your kids to do the right thing, and sometimes it's disastrous, and some traditions are disastrous. What I realized today as I was shopping with my wife is, it feels so good not to be encumbered by the old baggage of traditions, also the traditions that don't make sense, at least. I love traditions that, like Christmas, that are super fun, right? The kids love it, they're excited. We're a little too consumerist, and that part drives me crazy, but I love not having to bow my head to authority. That's freedom. But most of all, it's the lack of guilt. I know it's a funny thing, but back when I was more conservative, more religious, there was a lot of guilt, right? And you should be guilty for this, you should be guilty for that. There's actually a good place for guilt when you've done something bad to another human being. You shouldn't feel good about that. There should be a little twinge of guilt there, or even, dare I say, shame. Some people could use that kind of guilt or empathy and don't have it at all, and unfortunately that makes you a sociopath. But when you feel guilty over things that are just old rules, or magical, mysterious, mythical things that aren't true, man, that weighs you down. And so, look, if you're a conservative and you don't believe me, bless your heart, keep going. But just think about it for a second. Just use this time to reflect. Wait, do I feel unnecessarily guilty about some things? And is that preventing me from enjoying my life? And I can tell you, from having lived both experiences, progressives feel fantastic. And do all of them feel fantastic? Of course not. And do I feel fantastic at all times? Of course not, right? But do you feel more free? I swear to God you do. So as long as you haven't done anything bad to anybody else, be free, brothers and sisters. Run free. Do anything you want. Have the freedom of thought to do whatever strikes your fancy. That's what is supposed to make America great. That's what I thought conservatives were after and wanted. So I think that if you think about it that way, just examine the old rules. Is there good reason for them? And sometimes, a lot of times there are. And sometimes there aren't. It's just put there to keep you in a position where you voluntarily give up your freedom. So don't do it. Go out there and actually enjoy your life and enjoy this Christmas. And if you get a chance, I'm not saying anything, I'm just saying, enjoy the gift of TYT membership at tyt.com/join. It's not really a gift. You could give a gift at tyt.com/gift. Anyway, I had to sneak in a membership plug, even in this philosophical video. All right, guys, much love. Go enjoy the holidays. See you soon.